The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
In the Yom Kippur War. Oh, that one? Come on, let me hear it. In the Yom Kippur War, there was an Israeli commando unit who found itself ambushed and surrounded by the enemy. One of the soldiers in this wonderful elite unit, he got shot. He was wounded. He couldn't move. And he fell into a remote place that his friends could not reach to save him. They realized that if they were going to go back to try to save his life, they all probably would be killed. So they all abandoned him, except for one soldier. One guy, one Jew, who would not abandon another Jew even in a life and death situation. He went crawling on his belly to this remote hole where this Israeli soldier laid wounded to die, left to die, miraculously, surrounded by the enemy. He was able to pick up this wounded soldier, put him on his shoulder, dodge between the bullets, and heroically, somehow, miraculously, make his way back to home. Well, this particular hero did not want anyone to know that it was him. So when he brought the wounded soldier into the nearby hospital, the Israeli hospital, he quickly just took the soldier, dropped him in the emergency room, and disappeared. Well, this soldier, obviously, min hashamayim, due to the help, the medical treatment that he got there in the hospital, he lived. He went home to his parents, to his family in Petach Tikva. And there, his parents, who owned a local restaurant, they so wanted to know who was this incredible hero. Who was it that saved the life of their son when everyone else gave him up for dead? So they put a big ad in the newspaper. Please, anyone who has information that will tell us who is the one, the hero that saved our son's life, please, we run a restaurant in Petach Tikva, come, talk to us. We want to be able to say thanks to this person. After a week or two, one day a lady comes walking into the restaurant, and she walks up to the owners, the husband and wife, and she says to them, I know who is the one who saved the life of your son. So they said, what? You serious? Please sit down, tell us. Who was it? Who was that invisible hero? I mean, we were thinking Eliyahu Navi. Who was it? Who pulled our son out from death? Lo irara ki ata imadi. Who was the one that went beget salmavet? Pulled our son out from death, living today when his friends abandoned him. Who was it? So the lady looks at the mother and father and she says to them, I'm going to tell you. It was my son. My son. My son went back to save your son's life. They said, wow. Please, bring your son. We want to meet him. She says, you will. But first, please, take a good look at me. Do you recognize me? Husband and wife is looking at this lady, middle-aged woman, and they said, no, I'm sorry. We don't know who you are. She says, are you sure? Yeah. She says, I'm going to tell you who I am. Some 20 years ago, I lived here in Petach Tikva. At that time, I was a foolish young teenager. And I became pregnant through a boyfriend that everyone told me I should have stayed away from. And because I came pregnant, this boyfriend, he denied it. And he started spreading rumors that I got pregnant from an Arab. She says, you don't understand. People stopped talking to me. My life was over. He left me. And here I am pregnant with his baby. What was I supposed to do? She says, that day I walked into this restaurant, your restaurant, and I was crying. I just sat down by a table crying. And you, the husband and wife, the owners of this restaurant, you came up to my table, you saw me crying, you sat down, and you said to me, BT, what's the matter? Why are you crying? And she said, I told you my whole story. I told you the slanderous remarks, the rumors that people were saying about me. I wanted to give up life. I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted to have an abortion. I didn't want the baby. I didn't want life. I wanted to end it all. And all my friends and my parents, everyone was telling me, just because of the rumors, have an abortion. Have an abortion. And she says, that day, I was on my way to the clinic to have the abortion when I stopped off here in this restaurant. And I spoke to you. And the two of you, you were the ones that talked me out of aborting this child. And because of you, the hezuk you gave me, the great feeling that you gave me, and you helped me, and you called people from other cities to start a new life for me. Because of you, I kept the baby, and I went on with life. Do you know who that baby was? That was my son. The son who saved the life of your son weeks ago. Hakarat Hatov, as being an ingrate, was a line that even Bil'am wouldn't step over. The worst of all terrible midot. Hakarat Hatov is something in the eyes of Borei Olam that is the greatest of all midot. How high and how exalted is this midah? It's on a level that it could even save people's lives. Stories galore. People's Hakarat Hatov, constantly saving their lives. Let's take this to heart. When it comes to our parents, when it comes to our teachers, our friends, when it comes to those who truly added something special in our lives, to be very careful, never to be kafui tov, but to have the Hakarat Hatov to continue to shine as the exalted people, as Am Yisrael. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org